baik tu Nandi mereka tahu, रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, new acting appointments for suspended SEDELPA. However, Registrar of Political Parties requires further clarification. And movies makes millions for Fiji.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Two members of the suspended Social Democratic Liberal Party Management Board rushed over to the Fijian Elections Office this afternoon to submit the names of new office bearers immediately after the acting positions were filled. However, there were some snags as the Registrar of Political Parties, Mohammed Saneem, requires certain technical criteria to be met before proceeding further. We will have the full list of appointees later on, but first, Koroi Tandolala reports on the meeting between the suspended SEDELPA and the Registrar.
Thank you.
The newly appointed Acting General Secretary Nandi Turanga walking into the Fijian Elections Office carrying the future of suspended SEDELPA with her.
The list has been received by the registrar. However, the critical appointment of the registered officer under Section 11 of the Political Parties Act is yet to take place because the constitution of SEDELPA itself has specific requirements that need to be met before the appointment can be made, and that is what has happened.
The Registrar of Political Parties says he has accepted the list of office holders appointed to fill the casual vacancies. However, the suspended party needs to sort out the appointment of a registered officer before matter can proceed further. Saneem also confirms that the Social Democratic Liberal Party remains suspended.
To return to the management board, which is still meeting, to put forward the constitution and work out ways to comply with the constitution. So as it is, the Social Democratic Liberal Party is still under suspension.
So SEDELPA party in suspension tried to resolve some issues today. We were not able to do everything, so we will reconvene early next week.
The registrar has advised the management board of the suspended party to fulfill all requirements before making another submission. Late this afternoon, the management board was unable to decide how to appoint a registered officer and the meeting had to be adjourned. The matter has now been referred to the suspended SEDELPA Working Committee to decide the best way forward and following these, make a submission to the registrar. Koroi Tandolala, FBC News.
Meanwhile, earlier today, the suspended Social Democratic Liberal Party appointed senior office bearers at a management board meeting. This is one of the key requirements for suspended SEDELPA to come out of suspension. Edwin Nund reports on the new appointments.
This meeting is the first time that factions within the suspended party have been able to sit at the same table.
SEDELPA party in suspension tried to resolve some issues today. We were not able to do everything, so we will reconvene early next week.
Vijay Singh was today appointed acting president and Emile Turanga is the acting general secretary. Ratu Epenisa Dakumbau and Ratu Chonile Suma are the acting vice presidents, while the acting treasurer is Ilisoni Vuindraketi.
I'm very optimistic. If we continue in the vein of today's discussions, I'm sure we can meet the requirements by the supervisor election.
As the meeting progressed, one of the factions, led by Tuidakau Ratunaingama Lalambalavu, was present outside the venue. However, when it was all said and done, only Andiliti and Yoni Baravi remained. Andiliti, would you have a moment for a comment? The suspended SEDELPA Management Board has not set a date for a special general meeting. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
The film industry contributed $138 million towards the Fijian economy in 2019, making it a record-breaking year. Acting Chief Executive Choni Tikoda says the amount exceeds the total revenue earned in previous years, which was a little below $100 million. Josaina Nunga reports there were 107 productions in Fiji, which resulted in 2,700 Fijians getting direct employment.
COVID-19 has hit the entertainment industry hard, and its trickle-down effect is being felt by Fiji, with many film productions either put on hold or rescheduled.
There are restrictions
put across the globe by each of the countries to protect their citizens from the spread of this virus. We are also going through that process where restrictions are placed on borders.
4 major productions were confirmed for this year, and Tikovai is hopeful it will still go ahead as planned once the restrictions ease.
We are monitoring the situation here in Fiji and currently in discussion with our major stakeholders, which is government.
Meanwhile, the annual Cool Film Awards have been cancelled, and Film Fiji is looking at other ways to ensure Fijians still get to showcase their talents.
We are great storytellers in Fiji, and what we expect is to turn those good stories into on the screen, so we can see those stories on screen.
Not everybody goes into the white collar job market there and there. You know, Fiji is blessed with an abundance of talent, music, acting, anything creative.
The awards will now be replaced by Film Fiji mobile movie competition, enabling filmmakers to use their mobile phones to produce a 1 to 5 minute video. The video must present COVID-19 related theme, awareness on the Fijian-made and Love Local campaign themes, or a theme of their choice. Jose Nanuga, FBC News.
A new project was today signed between New Zealand, the Fiji Police Force and the United Nations Development Programme. The $9.2 million Fiji Police Support Project aims to strengthen the transparency, accountability and effectiveness of the police in collaboration with key justice stakeholders and civil society organisations. Lena Rees has more.
Commissioner of Police Brigadier General Sitiven Ingilio says with the financial and technical support from New Zealand and the UNDP, the force aims to strengthen early access to justice in criminal proceedings as well as a victim-centered approach to investigations.
The assistance also includes the procurement of necessary equipment to support our ongoing efforts in enhancing our investigative interviewing infrastructure, including the nationwide expansion and piloting of the first-hour procedure and video recording facilities.
New Zealand High Commissioner to Fiji, Jonathan Kerr, says through this program, the New Zealand and Fiji police forces will work closely with each other and the UNDP to enhance investigative skills, provide early access to justice and promote gender equality.
We are very pleased as part of this to partner with UNDP to continue and expand the work of the First Hour program in achieving the aims of transparency and accountability and increasingly effective policing in Fiji.
Our police commissioner also stressed that a major component of the system package will be training Fijian officers to improve their knowledge of early access to justice initiatives and Fiji's implementation of the UN Convention Against Torture. Lena Rees, FBC News.
Up ahead, milk production increases by 7% and over 2,000 pregnant women financially assisted.
Natanggo prostra ngarse ngor kraki do televizyon na barong na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Overall milk production in the first quarter of this year increased by 7%, which in turn boosted farmer confidence. In 2018, the average daily production per cow was 5 litres, and last year it increased to 6.5 litres. Kritika Kumar reports the positive figures from the once ailing industry are attributed to an increase in milk price paid to farmers.
The Fiji Cooperative Dairy Company Limited believes investing in technology and initiatives is finally paying off.
Fiji Cooperative is looking after is to list cost rations to produce through our feed mill so that farmers are able to get at least at an affordable price. The biggest intervention is calf rearing.
Prasad says the milk price paid to farmers have also been increased, and last year it rose by 14%. Kashmir Singh and dairy farmers from Waimaro Tailevu highlighted the importance of looking after the cattle.
The boys are out in the field putting fertilizers on pasture so that we can maintain the nutrient value of the in the pasture, so that production is brought up to that level.
Singh believes the industry has potential as they have an open market system.
I think we can go back of the old days where we were producing as much milk we could.
The local demand for milk is 60 million litres. Therefore, the industry is aiming to fulfill at least half of this to reduce the import bill. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Over 2,000 pregnant women in rural areas are receiving food vouchers as part of the Social Welfare Department's expanded food voucher program. Director Rupeni Fatiaki says they need financial assistance to keep their health up during pregnancy. Sainani Boiler reports.
2,142 pregnant women are getting $50 food vouchers every month to ensure they and their babies are healthy.
There's a need in our rural communities where pregnant mothers don't come to clinic, in the early stages of the pregnancy, and so when they come at the the last stages, and then when the time for them to give birth, there's complications in delivery, and so that's one of the reasons that this program came about.
It was found that some of the women lack sufficient nutrients to keep them healthy from the early stages of pregnancy until the last trimester.
It's also discovered that children and mothers in these areas, communities, there was this issue of malnutrition.
Meanwhile, the NGO Hakwa Foundation is working to help pregnant mothers in the rural areas of Singatoka.
We are planning to host a dignity kit drive. This is to include all the necessary items that is needed to help a pregnant mother.
Only pregnant women in rural areas are eligible for the program, where they will receive $50 monthly for the 9 months of pregnancy and the first postnatal month. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Various government departments are now rallying behind the Agriculture Ministry to ensure it reaches its full potential. With COVID-19 heavily impacting Fiji's biggest revenue earner, the tourism sector, the ministry is now making significant investments to increase agriculture production. Kelly Vavala reports.
The agriculture industry is stepping up to increase its contribution to the economy.
There's a lot of focus on crop at the moment, but similarly, livestock also has a significant role to play in Fiji. We are self-sustainable when it comes to poultry, pigs, cattle. Dairy is an area that we are looking at as well.
Das says COVID-19 has made Fijians realize why it's important to maintain food security.
Ministry of Agriculture has got an aspiration of grow beyond what we've currently been doing, and a lot of activities has been taken place. And what I'm pleased to see is that there's a pronounced interest from all sectors, from all people.
The Agricultural Marketing Authority is working with government and local farmers to boost production.
We all think it was long overdue, but a start is a start, and we wish to make agriculture the leading industry in Fiji. So the government's focus is on increasing the importance of primary sectors in Fiji, especially agriculture.
There has been an increase in entrepreneurial farming in the last 3 months, which is a welcoming sign for the agriculture sector and the Fijian economy as a whole. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
And turning overseas, 3 months after China declared victory over the virus, officials in Beijing are scrambling to prevent a second wave. The city has reported 137 new cases in 6 days. That's seen thousands of flights cancelled, schools closed, and new restrictions on people's movements. And Whitney is here now with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up in business tonight, local band joins forces with Wunder Pigs. And in growing Fiji, 1.8 million dam to prevent flooding in Greater Nandi area. Stay with us.
My name is Neha and I'm from Kadavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
About 90 Fijian women entrepreneurs are expected to benefit from training programs funded by the U.S. government at a cost of over $36,000. Ambassador Joseph Seller today signed the grant with the Women's Entrepreneurs Business Council and the Makoi Women's Vocational Training Center, which will facilitate the training. Apanisa Wangairondovu reports the initiative will address vital areas of entrepreneurship and business management suitable to the local business environment.
Called the Academy of Women Entrepreneurs, it's a platform for women in business to share innovative ideas to boost productivity.
This program will allow them to talk freely to us and talk to us about the specific needs. And what we'll do as a facilitator to this particular program, we will then utilize the current skills that we have to address the needs that they have.
The U.S. Embassy has provided similar support in the past, and the ambassador says he will ensure they continue to influence the economic growth of women in Fiji.
The testimonials are great, and I look forward to advancing and the success and building on the great track record and increasing it as long as I'm have the honor to serve here.
The training will also provide opportunities for these women to apply their newly acquired skills to their own businesses, in addition to establishing a robust network of women business leaders. Apanisa Wangairondovu, FBC News.
A famous local band has diversified into a totally new business to stay afloat. 80% of the band Inside Out's revenue came from performing at various resorts and hotels. But with no tourists coming into our shores, they found an alternative way of earning money. Vanina Rakautonga reports the members have partnered with the Vunda Pork Shop to manage the new branch at Centrepoint in Suva.
The show must go on, and these musicians are happy that a new opportunity came their way.
This pandemic has taught us to diversify, and I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I actually was working at the piggery before I pursued my career in music, and we're just blessed to cross paths again and be given this opportunity to run this wonderful business.
Nalawa says music remains their priority, and once things normalize, they will find an alternative to juggle between the two.
As long as we have pigs to sell, I think yes, definitely we'll still be selling pork and running the shop.
Vunda Pork Shop owner Simon Cole says expanding his shop to Suva was a huge step, and the band members have been of great help.
We both got the same problem, that the pork industry and Cookie's band both were reliant on tourism. And so both of us have taken a hit, and both of us have become innovative in what we do.
The shop located at Centrepoint in Suva has become a popular spot for meat lovers in the capital city. The band members are planning to continue this new diversified business to support themselves and their families. Venina Rakautonga, FBC News.
We now join Sinifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock market.
The situation in both the United States and China has raised fresh concern about the risk of reopening economic activity before a COVID-19 vaccine is developed. China is tightening the lockdown around Beijing and other centers due to a fresh outbreak, while the U.S. still is going ahead with plans to lift restrictions. Closer to home, Australia's unemployment rate rose to 7.1% in May, as the economy lost 227,700 more jobs after 594,000 job losses in April. Across the Tasman, New Zealand's gross domestic product fell 1.6% in the March quarter, the largest drop in 29 years as the initial effects of COVID-19 restrictions exhausted economic activity. The 1.6% fall surpassed quarterly falls during the global financial crisis of the late 2000s. It was the largest quarterly fall since the 2.4% decline in March quarter of 1991. Meanwhile, an upcoming Bank of England meeting is expected to expand measurable economic easing in the face of stuttering economy and rocky trade negotiations with the European Union. That's a wrap from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Turning to today's exchange rates as set this morning, as the foreign exchange markets continue to be shaken by the global pandemic and international tension, the Fiji dollar gained against the US greenback, the Aussie dollar, the PNG kina and the euro. It held almost steady against the Chinese yuan and the Kiwi dollar and lost some ground against the safe haven Japanese yen. Looking at the commodities, oil prices dropped to just above $37 a barrel. Gold was up at $1,727 per ounce and silver closed up 10 cents at $17.45 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, in an effort to buffer the powerful floodwaters in the often hit Nandi, the 1.8 million Mosi Dam 3 was commissioned yesterday. During the commissioning, Prime Minister Vorenga Bainimarama said the dam was necessary to hold back floodwaters which could easily wash away billions of dollars of development in Nandi and across the country. Felipe Naikaso has more.
In times of heavy rain, this dam kicks into action, holding back peak discharges and keeping water at reasonable levels downstream in the Nandi town area.
We've taken decisive steps to avert that future. We won't let Nandi's aspirations of cityhood be drowned out by rising rivers. And we won't let coming generations suffer from our inaction today.
Despite the cost of construction, Bainimarama says that by doing nothing and letting flood continue unmitigated, the cost would be far higher.
And that's only considering what can be measured in dollars. The true cost would be measured in the shattered dreams of hardworking families forced to watch flood after flood devastated their homes, their schools and farms, and steadily erode their sense of security.
The Nandi River catchment covers a vast area and many major investments. The Nandi River Flood Elevation Project will assist in mitigating severe flooding. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
That's it from Business Tonight. We now join Jamie with the latest in sports.
Vinaka Whitney and good evening in Sports Tonight. FRU looks for new partners for project. And Veteran Pearl Center plans comeback. This and more after the break.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Fiji Rugby Union is now looking for new partners for a multi-story building which was supposed to be erected on Gordon Street in Suva. In 2014, the then FRU chair Filimoni Wangambada announced the 10-story project as an income-generating initiative to assist the union. But current FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says the investor interested in the joint venture with FRU has since pulled out.
The person we were discussing was that interested partner and then changes indicated he wanted to invest in something in the Western Wedge associated with tourism. So we are looking at other partners now, but because of this COVID-19, everything has come to a stop.
Former Fiji Pearl Center Vaiti Wangatambu is willing to put in the work to earn her place in the national side for the 2023 Netball World Cup. The 33-year-old has been called back to be part of the Pearls as they prepare for the upcoming season. Karaleni Tavi has more.
After failing to make the squad in the 2015 Netball World Cup, Wangatambu used this as a motivation to keep working hard.
Back then I had mixed emotions, mixed feeling. I was frustrated, I was sad, but then it has motivated me to train more harder.
She is banking on her experience as she prepares for the task ahead.
I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of competitions, especially from the young girls in the under-21 that made the last World Cup. They'll come out firing, But then, as for me personally, I'm banking on my experience.
The Rewasarales took a leap in her sporting career by switching to rugby in 2016. But this did not cool her love for netball.
Well, I'm keeping my options open at the moment, but then netball has always been in my heart. It's my passion. My life is netball.
Meanwhile, veteran player Alessi Wangapol, who was also called back to the squad, shares the same sentiments as Wangatambu.
Yes, I'm getting old, and as long as my legs can take me, I can still play. And I'm looking at the option of being a coach, especially to the little ones when I retire from this sport.
The 2023 Netball World Cup will be held at the International Convention Center in Cape Town, South Africa. Carlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
Rewa football coach Marika Rondo accepts that his team won't be in the same form they were in pre-COVID-19. Rewa FC still stands at the top of the Vodafone Premier League table with 12 points, having played 5 matches with 4 wins and a loss. But Rondo says he expects some changes to the team's momentum as they plan for the VPL to kick off.
So I wouldn't say that we will still be coming into the resumption of the league with the same momentum, because a lot of things has happened. Training has been affected, and family members have been affected. Players have moved back to their villages. So it will be difficult to bring them back into the new normal situation.
The English Premier League resumed this morning with defending champions Manchester City returning in style with a 3-0 win over Arsenal. In another match, Sheffield United drew 0-0 with Aston Villa. The Warriors coach is welcoming the NRL's warning to all clubs to stop pushing the boundaries when it comes to the new 6-again rules. Players will now be sin-binned if they are caught deliberately slowing down the game. Now, player of the day, the operator of the Premier League's goal line technology system, has apologized after Nera denied Sheffield United a goal in their scoreless draw at Aston Villa this morning. Villa goalkeeper Owen Nyland carried the ball over the line, but referee Michael Oliver did not receive a signal indicating a goal. That's it from sports tonight. Coming up in the world of the weird and wonderful, meet the New Zealand girl making great strides with her own candle company. This and more after the break.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In your media tonight, the Huawei P40 Pro Plus is here with a new ceramic design and a crazy 5-lens camera setup. So is the P40 Pro Plus the best camera phone you can buy? And Angie joins us now with the latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. The day has been fascinating, especially since it's a Thursday, plus the weekend is nearing, so yay to that as well. So while June is normally a dry season, know that it can rain anytime. Now moving on, in the west, the day was spot on sunny without rain. The heat is making a comeback. The nights will be quite cool. Eastwards from Pekhabarasuva, clear blue skies are always our charm. And up north, while we're in the mood for good weather and great sunshine, let's make the most of it while it lasts. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Now turning to the tides, low tide at 10:41 p.m. with high tide at 4:59 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:36. For tomorrow, it's a Friday, finally to the day of joy and relaxation. The weather, very fortunately, will be fine and warm. Tomorrow's temps, since it's a cold season, the day will see more sunshine and the night will drop to lower 19 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, more fine and appealing weather in the bag. That's all the weather news from my end. It's back to Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji on Pulse tonight, we ask, do you think some of the COVID-19 restrictions should be scaled back?
I think it should be lifted.
Yes, I think it should be taken away for good because it has prevented us from doing a lot of important things.
I think the restrictions should stay, although some are breaking the laws, but it is their problem.
I think it should be scaled back so that our children can go back to school and we can do our normal business.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, living with Down syndrome, a candle maker of New Zealand has made great strides in her independence since she started her own company with her dad called Downlights New Zealand. While finding a job is difficult as it is and can be even tougher for the differently abled, the fragrant soy candle company in the land down under focuses on hiring young people with intellectual and learning disabilities. Recapping the main stories for tonight, new acting appointments for suspended SODELPA. However, Register of Political Parties requires further clarification, and movies makes millions for Fiji. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking, is Hoskins Sotutu proving to be the best candidate for the All Blacks number 8 position? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day. This is a picture of what is believed to be the Fijian goshawk. It feeds on birds, insects, rodents and reptiles. It hunts from perches or on the wing. And you can send us your pictures to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us on our Facebook page, FBC News, and our Twitter page at FBC_news. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow from the team and I, stay safe, stay warm. Good night.
I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.